Hi everyone! I'm Mandy. Welcome to Souped Up Recipes. Today we're making another wonton soup. This is going to taste different than any other wonton soup that you had before because it pairs with a special sour broth which comes from the northern China. And trust me, you're gonna love it. Let's start by making the filling, which is super basic and easy to make. You will need half pound of ground pork, half cup of diced scallions, a few cloves of garlic, and half inch of ginger. Grate them finely. I love using this ceramic grater because it does not hurt you even if you rub your fingers on it, and it is dishwasher safe. Continue by adding a third teaspoon of white pepper powder, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, half tablespoon of sesame oil. Mix the filling within one direction for a few minutes to develop the texture. I'm using store-bought wrapper today. You can get this from the Asian market, but it is also available in non-Asian markets, such as Walmart, Publix, and Target. You just have to look carefully. I actually found this in the vegan section in Walmart. Also, make sure you have it ready beforehand. Sometimes it comes frozen. You have to either defrost it in the fridge overnight or leave it out on the countertop 1 hour in advance. The folding method is easy. Even if you have never made wontons before, you can do this. Grab some filling with your chopstick, put it on the wrapper, fold it over, gather the edge of the wrapper and give it a solid squeeze. So simple. Wonton doesn't need to be precise and it doesn't need to be sealed completely, so don't worry about the shape at all. This recipe is enough to make 30 to 35 wontons, which is enough to serve 2 people. Alright, the wontons are done. Let's set them in the fridge for now because we're going to make the broth. You will need 2½ tablespoons of pork lard. If you don't have it, replace it with vegetable oil. Add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of diced scallions, and 2 teaspoons of minced ginger. Sauté them over medium-low heat for a couple of minutes or until they are slightly golden on the edge. You will need 1 star anise, 1 cinnamon stick, 2 bay leaves, and 1 teaspoon of Sichuan peppercorn. Add them to the pan and continue to stir for a minute or until the aromatics are golden brown. Pour in 4 cups of water or stock if you have some at home. Bring it to a boil. Season it with a 1/3 cup of Chinese black vinegar, also known as aged vinegar. If you have been following my show, you probably know that I always recommend using balsamic vinegar to replace Chinese black vinegar. However, don't do that in this recipe because this is the key ingredient, so you should stick with the authenticity. Continue by adding 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, half tablespoon of brown sugar, and some salt to taste. If you're using store-bought stock that is already salted, you may not need to use the salt. I also like to toss in a handful of dried seaweed. It has a soft, smooth texture and a nice umami taste. If you don't have it, feel free to skip it or throw in some mushroom slices. Although the texture of the mushroom is completely different compared to the seaweed, it does add a different dimension of flavor. Alright, the broth is done. Let's set it aside for now because we're not going to cook the wontons in it directly. Otherwise, the wrapper will release starch and make the broth cloudy. Therefore, I boiled a pot of water on the spare stove. Use a spatula to swirl the water to create a vortex. Then put the wontons in. This way, they will flow with the water instead of sinking to the bottom. Otherwise, they will stick to the bottom and lose part of the skin. Keep the heat at medium-low and cook for 5 minutes. Try not to use high heat because we don't want the water to boil viciously. Otherwise, the wrapper will start breaking. On the side here, pour in about 2 cups of the sour broth that we made into a serving bowl. Once the wontons are done cooking, take them out and add them to the broth as well. I like to drizzle in a couple of tablespoons of hot chili oil, which is optional. You don't have to add it if you cannot tolerate. Last, sprinkle some diced scallions and cilantro as garnish. I can't wait to enjoy this. Wow. This is satisfying. The wonton is tender and juicy. The little tartness from the broth is right on point. With the fermented taste from the aged vinegar, this dish, like really, it just increases your appetite instantly. I can't stop eating it. I hope you give this a try soon. As always, the printable recipe link is right here. You can check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more delicious and authentic Chinese food. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!